Hello again. This is FOD from Ejala Crypto. It's been a long time. I did a video on PULSECHAIN, PULSEX X. It's been a long time I did video about the RACKHAM, PULSECHAIN and PULSEX ecosystem. Well, I'm back again to do a video today, and this time around it's a kind of a banger. Yes, RACKHAM and RISHEL. So what's the problem? What's happening between these guys? Of course, if you are new to this ecosystem, you may not know who RACKHAM is, but by now you know who RISHEL is. So if you have invested in X, if you invested in PULSECHAIN, in PULSEX, you already know RISHEL. For those who have followed the project so far, they know RACKHAM too. If you go ahead and look at the sacrifice balances from the participants in the sacrifice phase of PULSECHAIN and PULSEX, when you check those who sacrifice most, I think RACKHAM is the one with most of the sacrifice. He acknowledged that the money sacrifice for which he became the one who sacrificed most, that's aside the OA address, he said that he had a lot of investors under him who probably came together, gather money together so that they can take advantage of the multiplier bonus and get the coin at a better rate. So he is a whale in the X ecosystem. He invested in, was one of the early investors in Hex, and he made a tons of money from Hex pump. Okay, so he's also in this ecosystem. He has become a long-term holder in the ecosystem. Although some people accuse him for selling Hex and all that, well, that is on a different controversial level. Okay, if you want to comment about that, you can make comment about that in the comment section. Before I proceed, let me remind you this, that you should subscribe. If you subscribe, it helps me, it helps you, it helps every one of us, because as soon as I upload video, you get to be aware of them. So for today, there is a little bit of disagreement, or will I call it fight, between these two big OGs. We know that RISHEL is the owner of the projects X, PULSECHAIN and PULSEX, while RACKHAM is one of the top investors in this project. Apart from that, RACKHAM had a lot of investors from the Saudis, you know, the Saudi Arabians who came in. I saw some of his posts on Twitter where he showed him doing a presentation to these guys from Saudi Arabia. You know, RACKHAM has a company called Overwatch. If you go to his Twitter account, you'll see there he has a corporate face and all that. So him presenting this project to them, kind of for them to be able to invest. So, but unfortunately today we see that there's a public disagreement between RACKHAM and RISHEL. So everyone was wondering, how come, like, the top investor, apart from the Godwill, I think RACKHAM should be one of the highest shareholder so far in RISHEL's ecosystem. So why would they be having some disagreement that it later became so open? What's the reason for them fighting? Why are they fighting? Why are they having disagreement about this? Well, with a little bit of digging deep that I did, I found out some information. Number one thing that caused the fight is probably because of the way RISHEL carries himself as the lead of this project. Because RISHEL is the lead of this project, is the face of the project. He came up with the idea that he wants to build these things, and he continued to build it. And X was, at least for what we have seen, a successful project. So he is the leader, and I think at this stage in time, because the ecosystem has become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, tons of millions of dollars, of billions of dollars was sacrificed for PULSECHAIN sacrifice. I think over $1 billion was sacrificed for PULSEX. So you know, when tons of people, thousands or millions of people are putting their money in a project, the scope of the management goes beyond the basic way it was being handled initially. So I think Rackham was trying to tell Richard that there's a need for a corporate face, that Richard, in spite of the fact that there's nothing wrong with him having his own personality, which is okay, that there should be a face, a corporate face. There should be some things he would not need to make comment about. There should be some things he doesn't have to be, talking about, like when doing live video and all that. That he should be more corporate so that we'll be able to sell PulseChain and PulseX and even Hex beyond what has been beyond those who it has been sold to. For example, let me give you an example of myself. When the PulseChain and PulseX sacrifice was going on, I have a friend who was a long-term Mexican who spoke about PulseChain sacrifice and also PulseX sacrifice. Then I felt okay. He said this is the guy that is in charge, which is Richard Hart. He owns the project. Then I went ahead and said I watched one of Richard Hart's video. I went there to watch, and I think the first live stream I watched, I was not too confident about investing in this project. Of course, I don't have much money. I only have small. So I was just looking at it that this kind of person that boasts so much, because just like in the book, like in the Bible and all that, it has been said that when someone is very egotistical, it's possible, it's like there's a likelihood of what the person is doing not to be successful. Okay, so when I see the ego, when I see the bragging and all that, I was put off a little bit. But the reason why I went ahead with sacrifice was because I have a friend who said, don't worry, that's how he behaves, so no wala, go ahead, of course, and sacrifice. He knows what he's doing. Then that was when I put a little bit of confidence in him that okay, well, let's see, let's sacrifice. Whatever happens out of it, happens out of it. Okay, but people should not be coming for the first time and be having that kind of thought. Why can't we have a better thought when somebody comes for the first time without anybody referring him? Can the person be so confident to put his money in his project? These are questions we want to ask ourselves. We are going beyond the basic small project this time around. This is it's no more a small project, it's a bigger project now. A lot of institutions are coming in to put in money, or whatever their reasons for putting the money, maybe they want to sell and all that. Well, that's none of anybody's business. What is more important is that we get as many people to come on board to pump our bags, because the reason why we're investing in the project is not because we like the technology, like some people always always try to pretend as if they are into this because of the technology. The truth of the matter is the reason why we're all doing this is because we want to multiply our money, we want to earn more, we want our bags to be pumped. Okay, so the most important thing is to get as many people on board as possible, those with those huge funds to come in. And I can categorically tell you, no corporate organization will want to come and invest in PulseChain and PulseX and want to do their research if their research is not seeing a corporate face. They would not find it so confident for them to go ahead and want to invest in such project. So I think that was one of the reasons why they had issues. Rackham and Richard had issues. Well, I'll go into the tweet so you can see for yourself what is more additional reasons why they could have had some issues there. I think another reason is because, for example, because we don't have a corporate face. Look at the PulseChain launch date, for example. Now, if we have a corporate face and everything is well measured out, it is a software, fine, it's a software. If we are going to be waiting for a whole year, we are ahead of it, we know ahead of it before people actually sacrifice. Okay, we are sacrificing this and we're going to wait for a whole year for this software to be done. Now, those you cannot categorize. We cannot categorically say that people use a certain amount of money to sacrifice. Different people know how they outsource their money because of what they believe in the project to be able to sacrifice. Some people might have taken corporate loans. Some people might have taken loans of money from friends, expecting that in the next 6 months there's going to be a return for that, so they can return the money to where they got it from. Some people might have sold their property, expecting that they will be able to get something in return, and the delay continues again and again and again. These investors continue to be frustrated. Imagine if someone has sold his property, or he borrowed a loan and invested through RACKHAM with the hope of getting maybe 2 or 3x. Of course, you cannot blame anybody for whatever hex they plan to get from their initial investment before they dump it. So, and they want to get out of it. So how would they feel now, knowing that the date for the launch is not even certain yet? Of course, it started with two months before. Now we are talking about weeks, and now we talk about 14 days. Who knows, maybe by 24th of this month, it will be launched. I am confident that at the end of this, close to the end of this month, it's going to be launched. I'm confident about it. I feel like that, but I cannot categorically say it may happen, it may not happen. So, but these are some of the things, and the announcement of the launch and all that. I think we should have a more structured phase now. If it's going to be announced by the PULSECHAIN Twitter account, let it be announced through the PULSECHAIN Twitter account. Let's make it structured. The project is now bigger than Richard had it the way it is. He's the face of the project. He built the project, but it's now bigger than the way we see it. It's a whole ecosystem. Thousands or millions of people are coming in to invest in this project, so it should look more corporate. So we should do things in a more organized and more corporate way. I think that's what RACKHAM was trying to explain to Richard, which led to some disagreement. But one thing I know about advice and all that is that when an advice is being given, most of the time, it is difficult to take it because one's ego is usually being crushed. So you need a good deal of humility, or you need some time for you to think about it, then make decision. And I think Richard himself has done this from his comment in one of his posts here. So basically, I will go through what Xologist posted on Twitter here. He said everyone still remembers that X and it's not Richard Archwin, right? There is probably 100 other streamers to tell your friends and family to watch if you don't think they can handle RH. The code and this community is all that matters. So this was a response to the criticism Richard has received as regards the kind of face he puts for the whole project. You can see Richard himself tweeted about this there. You can only influence people through... Okay, no, not here. He said, the part I don't get is slow. I even stopped cursing on my channel, which means he has taken to consideration the idea of cursing on his channel, and he has adjusted to that. He doesn't want to be doing that again. He said, maybe they want me to wear a doctor's robe. Okay, well, I think that's not what people are asking for. People are just saying that when people come for the first time, they want to see the face of the project as it's a corporate kind of face, okay, such that people can relate to it and they can trust the decision of the organization. Not that the people in the ecosystem do not trust Richard. Of course, everyone trusts Richard to a greater extent for those who have made money from X. However, for a new investor who wants to do their research, can they trust him from what they see at first? So that's it. If you look at it, I think RACKHAM responded here. He said, freedom of speech is a thing. It's a matter of approach that is the issue. Perhaps RACKHAM RISHEL has attempted to reach out privately to Richard Ad before the unfortunate public rant. It is all very unfortunate. Yes, thank you. So I think what Richard RACKHAM said was that he has discussed with Richard about some things, but he has not responded that he doesn't want him to have issues with those who he brought in from Saudi Arabia into the project. So I think Richard should look at this and think about it and not take offense for the way it is, okay? So look at what Richard said here. He said, be outrageous, live in hundreds of thousands of people's mind, live in hundreds of thousands of people's mind rent-free, get told to dress or speak different on weekends when people drink or on price dips. So basically Richard is finding it hard to accept the criticism. I think there's a particular look at what he said here in a bit to defend himself. He said, "Branding, it's a thing, and I've not seen him drunk post either. Not bad." So, you know, this is Vitalik, the creator of Ethereum. So Richard is saying that, well, if it's about branding, look at him. Does this look like a brand? Well, what is more important is that if Richard had brands very well, will it negatively impact the project or positively impact the project? If the answer is that it will positively impact the project, it should do that. If the answer is that it will negatively impact the project, it should not do it. Because at the end of it all, what everyone wants is what will impact the project positively, what will pump our bags, guys. So I think this has been the issue they had within themselves. So, and for the PULSECHAIN launch, I feel that PULSECHAIN will launch by close to the end of this month. So guys, what's your opinion? What do you think about this fight between these two giants? I would like you to comment. Make sure you comment. Let me learn from you guys. Let me hear your own take, or what do you think caused the fight between them? I've explained what I think was the reason for your fight. I want you to not forget to make sure you subscribe. This is a platform that has been dedicated to shilling out videos about PULSECHAIN X and about the execans and pause execans. I'm an investor too in Richard Art projects. Hopefully it becomes successful. So guys, make sure you subscribe, click the like button, click the notification bell. See you another time. Thank you very much.